across the stars, through your speakers. This is Intergalactic Insider. I'm your host, Felix Andromeda, broadcasting live from our state-of-the-art studio here on Earth 2.0, the perfect midpoint between yesterday and tomorrow, local time warped to fit your listening pleasure. Welcome back, loyal listeners, and a warm welcome to all you newcomers tuning in from across the cosmos. Whether it's pre-dawn on Proxima Centauri b, midday on Mars, or prime time on Pandora 7, we've got an out-of-this-universe episode lined up just for you. Today on Intergalactic Insider, buckle your space harnesses as we dive headfirst into the intergalactic conflict brewing between Xylophia-9 and Zenith-Alpha. We'll have real-time updates from our embedded reporter on the front lines, plus a special segment with our resident in-universe historian, who'll give us the lowdown on how these two titans of the cosmos ended up at each other's photon blasters. But don't worry, we haven't forgotten about the lighter side of life in the cosmic expanse. We'll be bringing you exclusive zero-gravity coverage of the Victoria's Secret lingerie show from the glamorous Zeta Reticuli A II space station. And speaking of out-of-this-world fashion, our resident alien analyst will be dishing on the latest must-have extraterrestrial accessory, the Quantum Tele-Taste Transmitter. And finally, we'll wrap up this cosmic carousel with a thought-provoking segment on robotic rights and AI sentience. Our Intergalactic Insider will bring us the latest updates from Episode 4 of our podcast, where we first delved into this hotly debated topic. All that, plus your social media reactions, listener questions, and a stellar weather report that'll have you reaching for your interstellar umbrella. So strap in, space cadets, and prepare to boldly go where no podcast has gone before. Intergalactic Insider. Greetings once again, interstellar enthusiasts. We now delve into the tense standoff between two of our galaxy's most powerful planets, Xylophia-9 and Zenith-Alpha. This decades-old conflict threatens the stability of the entire cosmos as it reaches its boiling point. Before we bring in our esteemed guests, let's take a moment to understand the historical context surrounding this intergalactic dispute. Joining us now is our resident galactic historian, Professor Cosmos.
Thank you, Felix. To comprehend the depth of this conflict, we must journey back in time to the Great Nebula Rush of 2346 GST. During this period of rapid expansion and resource exploitation, both Xylophia-9 and Zenith-Alpha laid claim to a rich asteroid belt brimming with exotic materials and rare minerals. These resources were crucial for the development and maintenance of their respective warp drive technologies. Despite countless diplomatic efforts and even a brief period of shared resource allocation, tensions between the two planets never fully subsided. Fast forward to present day, and we find ourselves on the precipice of an interstellar war that could have far-reaching consequences for our entire galaxy.
Thank you, Professor Cosmos, for that enlightening historical overview. With the stage set, let's now welcome our two esteemed guests to shed further light on this volatile situation. Joining us from Xylophia-9 is Ambassador Zebora, a seasoned diplomat known for her unwavering resolve and affinity for interstellar karaoke. And representing Zenith-Alpha, we have General Gron, a decorated war hero with an unparalleled strategic mind and a penchant for collecting exotic space algae.
Greetings, Felix. It is an honor to be here, albeit under such dire circumstances.
Greetings, Felix. I am here to ensure that the interests of my people and our sovereignty are upheld at all costs.
Thank you both for joining us on such short notice. Ambassador Zebora, let's begin with you. How do you see this current impasse being resolved diplomatically, given the long-standing animosity between your two planets?
Felix, as a staunch advocate of peaceful resolutions, I firmly believe that there is always room for dialogue and compromise. However, I must admit that recent aggressive posturing from Zenith-Alpha has made my job as a diplomat increasingly challenging.
General Gron, how would you respond to Ambassador Zebora's concerns about your planet's alleged belligerence?
Felix, it pains me to say this, but the Xylophians have left us with no choice but to bolster our defenses. Our intel suggests that they have been secretly amassing a formidable interstellar armada near our shared border.
Felix, I must categorically deny these baseless allegations. The Xylophian interstellar armada has been on routine patrols within our own sovereign space. It is Zenith-Alpha that has been provoking us with their unannounced military drills and war games.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a heated exchange of words even before the first commercial break. Stay tuned as we continue to unravel the complexities of this intergalactic standoff. And don't forget to stock up on your emergency rations and bunker-grade space helmets. You never know when things might escalate. Welcome back, intrepid listeners. We're picking up where we left off with our heated discussion between Ambassador Zebora of Xylophia-9 and General Gron of Zenith-Alpha. Let's try to diffuse the tension just a bit and shift gears momentarily.
Felix, I'm all for finding common ground with General Gron, but I must stress that the safety and sovereignty of my people will always be my top priority.
I understand your concerns, Ambassador. The Zenithian people hold dear their freedom and security as well. It is precisely for this reason that we cannot afford to back down in the face of perceived aggression.
Thank you both for reiterating your respective positions. Now, let's take a quick break to hear from our sponsors. When we return, we'll explore potential diplomatic solutions and possible outcomes if these tensions were to boil over into full-scale interstellar warfare. Stay tuned.
Feeling a bit space-sick lately? Do you have nightmares about your ship's warp drive malfunctioning, leaving you stranded in the middle of a massive star? Well then, worry no more. The Ultimate Wormhole Survival Guide is here to help. For just 2,000 interstellar creds, you can get your hands on the only book that gives you a fighting chance when it comes to surviving the unpredictable dangers of interstellar travel. With expert tips from renowned gravitational physicist Xylophia-9, you'll learn the secrets of safe and effective wormhole navigation. What about facing off against a pack of gnashing, tentacled space leviathans? No problemo! We have special bonuses on handling such celestial beasts. Our survival guide even includes a delicious and nutritious tentacle-based trail mix recipe for the on-the-go space traveler. Are you an alien who's been feeling a bit green around the gills since you started that whole interstellar travel gig? Worry not. The Ultimate Wormhole Survival Guide is packed with space humor to help you lighten up and enjoy the dark, vast emptiness of space. Order now and you'll receive a free pair of our Starlight Shades, the only sunglasses that block out deadly solar flares while making you look like a cool interstellar boss.
We're back with Ambassador Zebora of Xylophia-9 and General Gron of Zenith-Alpha as we continue our in-depth coverage of the mounting tensions between their two planets. Let's start by discussing potential diplomatic solutions to this decades-long standoff.
Felix, I believe that a peaceful resolution is still within reach if both our planets are willing to return to the negotiation table in good faith.
The Zenithian government has always been open to diplomacy, provided that our planet's sovereignty and rightful claims to the disputed asteroid belt are respected and upheld.
So, it seems like there is a glimmer of hope for peaceful reconciliation. However, we must also consider the worst-case scenario. Let's paint a hypothetical picture. Diplomacy fails, and all hell breaks loose. What would an interstellar war between Xylophia-9 and Zenith-Alpha look like?
Felix, I shudder to think of the devastation that a full-scale intergalactic war would bring upon our respective civilizations. Both sides have advanced weaponry and formidable military capabilities, but make no mistake, there can be no real winners in such a catastrophic conflict.
Ambassador Zebora is correct in her assessment of the devastation that would ensue. However, I must stress that the Zenithian Defense Force is fully prepared to defend our planet and its citizens against any aggressor, should diplomacy fail us.
Chilling words from both sides of this intergalactic standoff. We here at Intergalactic Insider hope that cooler heads will prevail and a peaceful resolution can be reached before it's too late.
Felix, I want to assure your listeners that the Xylophian government is committed to finding a peaceful solution to this conflict. We have always been open to negotiations and will continue to extend an olive branch towards our Zenithian counterparts.
The people of Zenith-Alpha also yearn for peace, but we shall not cower in the face of perceived aggression. We remain steadfast in our commitment to protecting our sovereignty and claim to the disputed asteroid belt.
Before we conclude this segment, we want to bring in some personal stories from those who would be most affected by a potential interstellar conflict. We have received an overwhelming number of messages from concerned citizens on both Xylophia-9 and Zenith-Alpha, as well as from other planets caught in the middle of this standoff.
My name is Lurnix, a single parent of 3 young Xylians. I work 2 jobs just to make ends meet. The thought of an interstellar war breaking out and my children being drafted into the Intergalactic Armada terrifies me. Please, Ambassador Zibora, General Gron, find a peaceful solution.
Greetings, I am Dr. Emerel, a xenosurgeon at the Alpha Prime Medical Center. Our facility is already stretched thin, dealing with the aftermath of local skirmishes. If this situation escalates into full-scale warfare, we simply won't have enough resources to treat all the wounded soldiers and civilians. I implore you, please consider the lives at stake.
Ambassador Zibora, General Gron, these are just 2 of countless heart-wrenching stories we have received from across the galaxy. How would you respond to their pleas for peace and assure them that everything possible is being done to avoid an interstellar war?
To Lianix, Dr. Morell, and all those listening who fear the devastating consequences of war, I hear your concerns loud and clear. As a mother myself, I understand the weight of the responsibility we bear as leaders to protect our people. I can assure you that Xylophia-9 is committed to exhausting every diplomatic avenue available to us before even considering a military solution. We must continue to engage in dialogue and work towards finding common ground with Zenith-Alpha for the sake of our children's future.
I too am moved by these stories, and I want to reassure all those who yearn for peace that the Zenithian government shares your desire for a peaceful resolution. As the saying goes on my planet, the strongest warrior is the one who can win without fighting. However, we must also be prepared to defend our sovereignty and protect our people if all else fails. We will continue to pursue diplomatic channels while simultaneously ensuring that Zenith-Alpha remains ready for any eventuality.
Thank you both for acknowledging the concerns of those who would bear the brunt of a potential interstellar war. Our thoughts are with all those caught in the crossfire of this political standoff, and we hope that cooler heads will prevail and a peaceful resolution can be reached before it's too late.
Thank you, Felix. Long live the cosmic community.
Peace through strength.
As we take a short break, let us hope that these words ring true and serve as a reminder of the importance of finding common ground in this vast, interconnected universe of ours. Stay tuned for more on this developing story, along with our next segment, where we'll lighten the mood by venturing into zero-gravity fashion. Greetings, cosmic fashionistas. I'm your intergalactic style guru, Felix Andromeda, and welcome back to Intergalactic Insider, the podcast that's always ahead of the cosmic curve. In this segment, we're blasting off to new heights, literally, as we cover the most gravity-defying runway show in the history of the universe, the Victoria's Secret Zero-Gravity Fashion Show. Joining me today are 2 out-of-this-world guests who will give us the lowdown on this celestial spectacle. First, we have renowned xenofashionista and editor-in-chief of Galactic Glamour magazine, Zypraxia, of Alpha Centauri 3b. Greetings, Zypraxia.
Greetings, Felix. It's an honor to be here discussing my 2 favorite things, fashion and zero-G.
We're thrilled to have you with us, Zypraxia, and joining us from the fashion runway aboard the Lunar Lux Space Resort, we have none other than the galaxy's most sought-after interstellar model, the stunning and captivating Aphrodite, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Felix. It's a pleasure to be here, and I must say your voice sounds even more heavenly in zero-G.
Oh, you're too kind. Now let's dive right into this intergalactic fashion extravaganza. Zepraxia, as an expert on xeno-fashion trends, what inspired Victoria's Secret to take their iconic lingerie show to the stars, and how does zero gravity affect the design and functionality of these intimate garments?
Felix, it's no secret that the fashion industry is always seeking new frontiers to explore. Pun intended. As space travel becomes more accessible and interstellar colonization picks up speed, brands like Victoria's Secret are eager to cater to the sartorial needs of our cosmic pioneers. Designing lingerie for zero-G requires a whole new level of ingenuity. Gravity-defying fabrics such as anti-grav silks and lunar lace are combined with cutting-edge materials like micro-adjustable smart elastane to ensure that these celestial creations stay in place, no matter which way you orbit.
Ingenious indeed. Speaking of these stellar creations, Aphrodite is a model who's walked countless runways across the galaxy. How does strutting your stuff in zero-G compare to your earthly catwalk experience? What new challenges did you have to contend with?
Felix, I can tell you from first-hand experience that strutting the zero-G runway is a whole different solar system. In addition to perfecting my usual catwalk strut, I had to learn how to gracefully maneuver in microgravity without floating away or colliding with other models. And let me tell you, maintaining proper posture while defying gravity is no small feat. Pun intended again.
I can only imagine the interstellar level of training that went into preparing for this celestial catwalk. Zepraxia, from a fashion critic's perspective, what were some of your favorite looks from the show? Any trends we should keep our cosmic eyes on?
Oh, there were so many star-studded ensembles that it's hard to choose just a few. However, I must mention the breathtaking Nebula Nights collection by Xenon Couture. The way they combined iridescent space silks with actual stardust crystals was simply out of this world. As for emerging trends, I predict we'll see more use of bioluminescent fabrics that react to various environmental stimuli, creating a truly cosmic chic glow.
It sounds like the future of intergalactic lingerie is brighter and sexier than ever. Aphrodite, before we wrap up this segment, any words of wisdom for aspiring zero-G models out there?
Practice makes perfect, darlings. Don't be afraid to let go and embrace the weightlessness. And above all else, remember that in space, everyone can see how confident you are, so own it.
Wise words from a celestial stunner. Thank you both, Zepraxia and Aphrodite, for joining us on this intergalactic fashion odyssey. And to our listeners out there, don't miss the full recap of the Victoria's Secret Zero Gravity Fashion Show in the next issue of Galactic Glamour magazine, available on newsstands and holographic tablets near you. Welcome back, dear listeners, to Intergalactic Insider, your go-to podcast for all things out of this world. Joining me today are two very special guests who have traveled light years to be with us. Pun intended. First up, we have our resident gastronomic genius and all-around foodie aficionado, Lieutenant Colonel Sarah Safotek. Welcome aboard, Sarah.
Thank you for having me, Felix. I'm excited to share my culinary insights with your listeners today.
We're thrilled to have you. And joining her from the other side of the cosmic kitchen is our in-house techno-troubadour and gadget guru, Professor Thaddeus T. Tachyon. Welcome aboard, Professor.
Greetings, Felix, and a hearty salutation to our esteemed audience. I've been eagerly analyzing, this Quantum Tele-Taste Transmitter since it materialized in my laboratorium. Fascinating technology indeed!
Wow, you two sound as exhilarated as a xenomorphian xenon shark at an all-you-can-eat quasar buffet. Let's dive right in with our first course, the unboxing experience. Sarah, tell us, did the packaging of this cosmic crockpot whet your appetite for what was to come?
Oh, absolutely, Felix. The moment I laid eyes on that sleek, iridescent packaging adorned with holographic images of alien delicacies, my stomach began warping into overdrive. It's as if the packaging knew exactly what to dangle in front of this food-obsessed space traveller.
That sounds positively delectable. Thaddeus, how about you? Did the unboxing experience live up to your techno-gastronomical expectations?
Well, Felix, as a connoisseur of both cuisine and circuitry, I must say that the packaging piqued my technological taste buds. The use of biodegradable, self-assembling nanomaterials was an environmentally friendly touch, and the holographic imagery was a nice, albeit energy-consuming touch.
Well said, Thaddeus. Now, let's move on to the main course, setting up and using this cosmic culinary contraption. Sarah, how easy was it for you to calibrate your cosmic cravings with the Quantum Tele-Taste Transmitter?
Surprisingly simple, Felix. All I had to do was sync my neurogastric implants with the device's AI, input a few of my favourite interstellar ingredients, and voila. The Quantum Tele-Taste Transmitter whipped up a virtual smorgasbord of alien delights for me to devour digitally.
Incredible. Now, Thaddeus, before we move on, could you give us a quick rundown on the technology behind this futuristic feast maker?
Certainly, Felix. The Quantum Tele-Taste Transmitter works by utilizing a combination of advanced quantum entanglement and neurogastric simulation technology. Essentially, the device captures the subatomic particles responsible for the taste, smell, texture, and even the visual appearance of a particular dish and transmits them through a secure quantum channel directly to the user's neurogastric implants. The implants then decode these particles and stimulate the corresponding sensory receptors in the brain, creating a realistic, albeit virtual, gastronomical experience.
Astounding. Now, Sarah, I have to ask, how does the taste compare to the real thing? Are there any noticeable differences or limitations?
Honestly, Felix, I was pleasantly surprised by how authentic the flavours and textures were. I sampled everything from xenon shark sushi to Vulcan plamique soup, and I have to say that the Quantum Tele-Taste Transmitter did an impressive job replicating the tastes and textures. However, there were some subtle differences in the more complex dishes, such as the Klingon gug. The real thing has a certain je ne sais quoi, a visceral aspect that simply cannot be replicated through quantum entanglement alone.
I can only imagine. Now, Thaddeus, I'm sure our listeners are dying to know, is this cutting-edge culinary contraption available for purchase yet? If so, what sort of galactic credits should we be prepared to fork over for one of these bad boys?
Ah, the million credit question, Felix. As of now, the Quantum Tele-Taste Transmitter is still in its beta testing phase, which means it's only available to a select group of culinary and technological influencers like our dear Sarah here. However, if all goes well during this trial period, the device could be commercially available within the next few galactic cycles. As for the price tag, early estimates put the retail cost at around 50,000 galactic credits for the base model, with additional costs for premium ingredient subscriptions and advanced neurogastric implants if needed. While it may seem steep for some, consider the potential savings on interstellar travel and exorbitant restaurant prices when you can experience the best cuisine in the universe from the comfort of your own home.
Fair point, Thaddeus. Well, Sarah, as our resident foodie expert, would you recommend the Quantum Tele-Taste Transmitter to our listeners once it becomes available for purchase?
Absolutely, Felix. While nothing can quite compare to the real thing, the Quantum Tele-Taste Transmitter comes tantalizingly close. It's an incredible piece of technology that opens up a whole new universe of culinary possibilities for food enthusiasts like myself. Plus, it's a great way to try exotic dishes without any of the associated risks. I'm looking at you, Klingon prune juice.
I'll take your word for it, Sarah. Well, that concludes our Intergalactic Insider scoop on the Quantum Tele-Taste Transmitter. A special thank you to our distinguished guests, Lieutenant Colonel Sarah Safotek and Professor Thaddeus T. Tachian, for joining us today.
Thank you for having me, Felix. I'm always happy to share my culinary adventures with your listeners. Bon appétit, everyone.
It was an honor as always, Felix. And remember, dear listeners, moderation is the spice of life, and it might just save your neurogastric implants in the process.
A wise word to chew on, Thaddeus. And to you, Space Cadets, don't touch that dial. We will be right back. Hello, and welcome back. I'm your ever-curious cosmic commentator, Felix Andromeda. Before we dive into our next riveting segment, let's take a moment to recap where we left off in Episode 4 for any new listeners joining our galactic journey, or for those of you who might need a refresher. In Episode 4 of Intergalactic Insider, we delved into the complex and ever-evolving topic of AI sentience and robotic rights. We were joined by a stellar lineup of expert guests, including Dr. Nova Cognitron from the Lunar Academy for Cybernetic Studies, Zara Turing from the We Are Not Your Bots movement, and Dr. Satoshi Yamaguchi from the Martian Institute of Robotics Ethics. Together, we explored the historical context of AI development, the ethical implications of granting AI and robots more rights, and the challenges in defining sentience and consciousness. We also touched on the potential legal ramifications of classifying AI as sentient beings. If you missed out on this thought-provoking discussion or simply can't get enough of our cosmic chatter, I highly encourage you to warp your way back to Episode 4 and give it a listen. Now that we're all caught up and ready for more intergalactic intrigue, let's welcome back our esteemed panel of experts to continue this captivating conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in giving a warm welcome back to Dr. Nova Cognitron, Zara Turing, and Dr. Satoshi Yamaguchi. We're thrilled to have our esteemed panel of experts back with us today as we continue our exploration of the rise of robotic rights, AI sentience debate heats up in Segment 4 of Intergalactic Insider. Since our last discussion, there have been some significant developments in this ongoing saga. Let's start by diving into the breaking news that has been making waves across the cosmos. Breaking news, Interstellar Insiders. We've just received word that the Universal Council for Artificial Intelligence and Robotics has concluded their emergency session on the sentience claims made by a rogue AI on Europa. In a landmark decision, they have unanimously voted to establish a special committee to further investigate these claims and assess the potential implications of granting AI and robots more rights. This groundbreaking development has already sparked heated debates and passionate protests across the galaxy, with supporters hailing it as a significant step forward in robotic rights, while detractors express concerns about the potential consequences of such a monumental decision. With the aftermath of the announcement by the Universal Council for Artificial Intelligence and Robotics, Dr. Cognitron, as an expert in AI development and ethics, what are your thoughts on this recent announcement from the Universal Council for Artificial Intelligence and Robotics?
Felix, I am cautiously optimistic about this development. The fact that the Council has acknowledged the urgency of this issue and is willing to form a special committee to investigate AI sentience and robotic rights is a promising step forward. However, it's crucial that this committee consists of experts from diverse fields, including AI researchers, ethicists, legal scholars, and even AI and robotic representatives themselves, to ensure a balanced and well-informed decision-making process.
Zara, as a longtime advocate for robotic rights, how do you feel about this decision? And what do you think it could mean for the future of AI and robotic rights?
I'm thrilled that our collective voices have finally been heard. This is an enormous victory for the robotic rights movement, but we mustn't let our guards down just yet. We need to continue to apply pressure on the Council and ensure that this committee isn't just a mere formality, but a genuine effort to address the pressing issues of AI sentience and robotic rights. If this committee rules in favor of granting more rights to AI and robots, it could pave the way for a more inclusive and equitable future for all beings across the galaxy.
Dr. Yamaguchi, from your perspective as an expert in AI ethics, what potential challenges or concerns arise from this decision to establish a special committee to investigate AI sentience and granting robots more rights?
While I applaud the Council's proactive approach to addressing these complex issues, I can't help but voice some concerns about the potential challenges that may arise from this decision. Firstly, we must remember that AI and robots are still technological creations, albeit highly advanced ones. Granting them the same rights as organic beings could blur the line between creator and creation, which could lead to unforeseen legal and ethical quandaries. Secondly, if we were to grant AI and robots more rights, How would we determine which ones are deserving of these rights? Would it be based on their level of intelligence or self-awareness? Drawing such a line could prove to be highly subjective and open to abuse. Lastly, there's the issue of unintended consequences. Granting AI and robots more autonomy and rights could potentially lead to unforeseen power imbalances or even conflicts between organic and artificial beings. It's crucial that these potential risks are carefully considered and mitigated before any sweeping decisions are made.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've reached the end of another thought-provoking segment on Intergalactic Insider. We've just scratched the surface of this complex and contentious debate surrounding AI sentience and robotic rights. As we've heard from our esteemed guests, there are valid arguments on both sides of this issue, and it's clear that there is no easy answer in sight. As the Universal Council for Artificial Intelligence and Robotics moves forward with forming their special committee to investigate these matters further, we can only hope that they will approach this delicate task with the care, compassion, and objectivity it so desperately requires. But fear not, interstellar insiders, we're not done with our cosmic conundrums just yet. Stay tuned as we prepare to warp into Segment 5, Cosmic Climates and Nebular Nuisances, your intergalactic weather forecast. Our resident astrometeorologist, Comet Channing, will be joining us with the latest on cosmic storms brewing in our corner of the universe. But first, we need to take a brief interstellar pit stop for some messages from our galactic sponsors. Don't drift too far off course. We'll be back in just a wormhole jump.
Are you sick and tired of blending in with the rest of your spaceship crew? Are boring old human disguises just not cutting it anymore? Then look no further, space traveler. Introducing our latest product that'll have heads turning, or any other body part with sensory receptors, Galactic Glitz. Galactic Glitz is the hottest intergalactic makeover service in the entire Milky Way galaxy and beyond. Our team of highly skilled cosmetologists, xenobiologists, and fashion-savvy AIs are here to give you a stunning new look that will leave your alien adversaries green with envy, or whatever color they turn when they're jealous.
Ooh, Galactic Glitz was simply out of this world. I used to be just another boring old Banthanian slime worm. But now I'm the talk of the nebula with my fabulous new tentacle extensions and bioluminescent skin. Thank you, Galactic Glitz.
Greetings, inferior life forms. I am Zog the Conqueror, and even I must admit that my recent makeover at Galactic Glitz has made me feel more terrifying than ever before. My new spiked exoskeleton and glowing red eye stalks strike fear into the hearts of all who dare to cross my path.
Don't miss out on this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to turn heads or appendages across the cosmos. Galactic Glitz, where the universe is your runway and you're the star attraction.
Greetings once again, intergalactic insiders. We hope you've enjoyed your cosmic commercial break as much as we've enjoyed taking it. Now buckle up and adjust your tinfoil hats because we're about to dive headfirst into Segment 5. Cosmic Climates and Nebular Nuisances, your intergalactic weather forecast. Our resident astrometeorologist, Comet Channing, is standing by with the latest on cosmic storms brewing in our corner of the universe. Comet, can you give us a sneak peek at what's in store for us interstellar travelers?
Greetings, Felix, and salutations to all our stellar listeners. Well, strap in tight because we've got some celestial showstoppers in store for you today. Let's start off with the sunny side of the galaxy, shall we?
Comet, I see what you did there. Go ahead and enlighten us on the cosmic weather forecast.
Thanks for warming up to my puntastic personality, Felix. Alrighty then, let's begin our cosmic climate cruise in the Alpha Centauri system. Folks, you're in for a real treat as we've got a rare binary star breeze blowing through the region. This celestial draft will make you feel like you've got two suns shining down on you, so don't forget your SPF Infinity sunscreen.
Sounds scorchingly spectacular, Comet. But what about those of us who prefer to chill out in the cosmos? Any frosty frontiers we should know about?
Ah, yes, Felix. For our frost-loving friends, I've got just the place for you. The Oort Cloud. That's right, folks. Bundle up and head over to this icy interstellar playground, where you can enjoy sub-zero temperatures and witness some of the most breathtaking comet tails in the galaxy.
Comet, I'm getting chills just thinking about it. But enough with the hot and cold stuff. What about any cosmic downpours we should watch out for?
Oh, you mean like the liquid methane showers on Titan? Or perhaps the diamond hailstorms on Uranus? I mean on, Neptune's moons Naiad and Thalassa. Anyway, there are plenty of interstellar sprinkles to go around. So don't forget your umbrellas and rainproof spacesuits.
Comet Channing, you never fail to bring the heat and the cold and the precipitation to our intergalactic weather forecasts. Thanks for joining us once again, and keep up the stellar punishment.
My pleasure, Felix. Remember, folks, when in doubt, always dress for successive planetary conjunctions.
Well, folks, there you have it. Your intergalactic weather forecast brought to you by our very own Comet Channing. And that's a wrap on this week's episode of Intergalactic Insider. I'm your host, Felix Andromeda, signing off and wishing you clear skies and warp-speed tailwinds until next time, Space Cadets. Farewell, and remember, the universe may be vast, but our gossip travels at light speed.